The Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins. This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the Internet itself.
President Trump embracing crypto, signing into law a landmark digital currency bill known as the Genius Act, which the White House says is poised to make America the crypto capital of the planet. But what does that mean for your wallet? Congressman Bill Huizenga is vice chair of the House Financial Services Committee, joining us now. Congressman, thanks for joining us. What does this mean? A landmark thing for the first time establishing a cryptocurrency law.
Yeah, well, what this does, Griff, is it gives clarity and it gives rules of the road so that we can continue to innovate here in the United States. And as you're asking the right question, which is, well, what does that really mean for us as citizens, right? Well, the U.S. dollar is the preeminent way that the entire world looks and measures wealth. And we want to make sure that that reserve currency, as it's called, remains the U.S. dollar. And what we are doing here is making sure that as people are going and looking for alternate ways to invest and alternate ways to pay for things, that as they are using cryptocurrencies, that's backed by the U.S. dollar. And that just solidifies the standing of that reserve currency of the U.S. dollar and really allows us to remain strong. Now, what this is, though, is really the building blocks. And, you know, my family's in construction, and when you build a house, you pour the footings and the walls first. That's what goes down into the ground. Then you build the house on top of that. And so that's going to be our next step.
That's a great analogy, Congressman. In fact, we can show our viewers sort of the bullet points of what that foundation looks like. First, it establishes a regulatory framework for the $250 billion stablecoin market, creates a legal category for those stablecoins, and allows banks and non-banks to issue their own stablecoins. That last point, Congressman, seems really significant because those stablecoins would be backed by the U.S. dollar. Perhaps a little bit of a victory over China, who we know wanted to be here first, but instead we are.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's not just China. It's other places around the world that have been very crypto friendly and then have said, hey, we are welcoming you. The last administration, frankly, was pushing them away. And there was so much confusion. There was lack of rules. It was arbitrary. They were literally arresting people. They were threatening to fine people, meaning companies that were doing this practice. And they had to stop that. And that's exactly what this did, this bill. And then as we're moving forward, again, we have to make sure that we now have a marketplace that fully functions here in the United States to make sure that we solidify our standing.
And Congressman, just in the last 10 seconds or so I have, what comes next?
Well, what comes next is we are going to be passing that marketplace. That it's a little like having a cell phone without the cell towers. You have to have the cell towers. Those next step is making sure that we have a market that works, that people can integrate in and plug into, and then really we're going to see this take off. So I'm just so pleased that the Trump administration did this.
It's exciting news, a landmark piece of legislation. Time to build the marketplace. Congressman Bill Huizenga, thank you for taking time. Have a great weekend.
Hey, good to be with you.
All right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.